Welcome to Sprint 8 GX. Sprint 8 GX involves matrix cardio equipment combined with strength building movements and flexibility training. This program begins when you select Sprint 8 on the console screen of your preferred matrix cardio equipment. That Sprint 8 button will guide you to start a 3-minute warm-up prior to your sprint intensity intervals. You'll have a chance to recover between these challenging intervals during 90-second recovery intervals. This pattern repeats 8 times for a total of 8 30-second intervals. After the intervals, Sprint 8 guides you through a short cool-down phase. Then 10 to 15 minutes are devoted to explosive lifting led by a trainer, followed by 10 minutes of flexibility training. What is sprint intensity? Sprint intensity describes all-out effort, and it is the highest intensity that you can achieve. This is demanding, so we cannot maintain sprint intensity for long. After 30 seconds of sprint intensity, and perhaps earlier, you will need a low-intensity interval to recover. You may be wondering, what is the difference between high intensity and sprint intensity? Sprint intensity was previously a subcategory of high intensity exercise, but recent studies now define sprint intensity as distinct. One difference is that sprint intervals are much shorter than high intensity intervals and require a longer recovery. This impacts the ratio between working and recovery intervals. A second difference is that sprint intervals deliver specific advantages by recruiting fast twitch muscle fibers, whereas you can complete a high-intensity interval workout without activating fast twitch fibers. Your muscles contain a combination of muscle fibers: fast, slow, and intermediate. Our daily activities fail to activate fast twitch fibers because they are used as a last resort when you need a rapid and forceful muscle contraction. The research-based formula for Sprint 8 combines the optimal duration of sprint and recovery intervals as well as the total number of intervals. Every level of intensity has its place in fitness training, but sprint intensity is critically important because it delivers benefits that no other intensity can match. This all-out intensity scales to all fitness levels and their perception of effort. Sprint 8 and the unique strength and conditioning movements are the result of many years of research and development by Matrix and Phil Campbell. The impressive outcomes with Sprint 8 were captured by an early study that used 8 weeks of workouts 3 times a week. The study participants lost an average of 27% body fat. Features and outcomes. Sprint 8 is for all ages and all abilities. Those fast twitch fibers are powerful, but they fatigue quickly. We lose fast twitch muscle fibers with age unless we use them. The all-out effort of Sprint 8 GX is necessary to maintain fast twitch fibers for a more youthful ratio of fast to slow twitch fibers. Speaking of age, Sprint 8 GX improves the fitness of young athletes and older individuals alike. We all have the ability to benefit from Sprint 8 GX. If you are not used to all-out effort, consider a gradual approach to Sprint 8 GX. For your first few workouts, complete just 1 or 2 intervals for a smaller dose of challenge. With practice, you will be able to reach sprint intensity for the entire 30 seconds and for all 8 intervals. When starting out, how do you know if you're ready to add another interval? The answer is based on performance. Ask yourself if you really reached peak intensity during the sprint intervals. If you could have worked out for longer than 30 seconds, then sprint intensity was not reached. Even elite athletes can only sustain all-out effort for about 30 seconds. So any interval longer than that is high intensity, not sprint intensity. Avoid easing up during the 30 seconds if you can. Also, if you complete all 8 intervals and you feel you could do more sprint intervals afterwards, this also suggests that you should put more effort into the 8 intervals. Resist the urge to add more. Sprint intensity is demanding, and even when tested on elite athletes, virtually no studies exceed 8 sprint intervals. How do you know if you're reaching sprint intensity? Even though 30 seconds is a short period of time, it feels like a major challenge. This level of challenge can be uncomfortable, and you may feel like it's difficult to catch your breath. This feeling is due to oxygen debt. That means you work at an intensity that does not allow for conversation. Instead, you will be breathing heavily. You'll also have an increased body temperature. You will feel warm and you should break a sweat. You will experience muscle burn. Although this is difficult to get used to, sprint interval training is likely to involve a temporary burning sensation during the sprint interval as your muscles thirst for oxygen. And you'll experience an adrenal response. As you increase the intensity, you will release alerting hormones such as adrenaline. And this helps you meet those exercise demands, but it can feel intense. There are many physical benefits and adaptations. The effort of Sprint 8 GX is the investment you make to get benefits that are unmatched by other workouts. For example, fat loss. Compared to continuous moderate intensity cardio, interval workouts that reach sprint intensity are more effective for fat loss. Muscle building is another benefit. Muscle building may not be something that you associate with cardio, but a cross-section of muscle reveals that fast twitch fibers make up a lot of the muscle volume, especially in younger people. Most of us have about 25% fast twitch fibers, but we can grow all fiber types with Sprint 8 GX because it reaches sprint intensities. This total muscle activation preserves fast twitch fibers and can expand and strengthen them. Your blood chemistry is also enhanced by Sprint 8. The ability to change at a cellular level sets Sprint 8 GX apart from less intense workouts. Let's explore how the body responds to sprint intensity training. One thing that changes is human growth hormone, or GH. Sometimes GH is called the youth hormone. GH helped you build muscles and bones as you grew. In adulthood, GH has anabolic effects, meaning that it helps you build up tissues like muscle, and it also helps you burn fat. Exercise is the most potent way to release more GH, and the amount you release depends on intensity. Sprint intensities trigger the most GH production, such that the more challenging the workout, the more GH is released afterwards. If we do not activate fast twitch fibers, we can gradually lose our ability to release GH as we age. Low GH is associated with less muscle and more fat, so Sprint 8 is a natural way to preserve youthful GH levels. Your blood lipids also benefit. Almost half of all adults have abnormal blood lipids, and this contributes to one's risk of stroke and heart disease. Sprint intensity interval training, such as Sprint 8, raises the amount of good cholesterol, or high-density lipoprotein. At the same time, it reduces your bad cholesterol, or low-density lipoprotein. These lipid improvements are available to everyone, regardless of age. There are also hormone changes. Exercise can help you return to a more youthful hormone profile. In men, that means more natural anabolic hormones, including testosterone. You may be surprised to learn that after age 30, the average man loses 1% of their testosterone every year. But regular vigorous exercise can slow this decline. A loss of natural testosterone may be partially reversed by Sprint 8 GX. Studies show that when middle-aged men start interval training at high intensities, their testosterone levels increase by an average of 15%. You will also experience increased energy. The calories in your food are turned into energy thanks to the mitochondria in your cells. We lose mitochondrial function as we age, and our mitochondria shrink, leaving us low on energy. Sprint 8 is one of the best things that you can do to reinstate youthful energy levels because it benefits your mitochondria. Sprint 8 intervals activate cellular signals that help the mitochondria to become larger, more numerous, and to function better throughout the entire body. Sprint 8 can help you slow down cellular aging. Sprint 8 GX supports the health of your DNA. That's the genetic blueprint of your cells. Researchers notice that as we gain fitness, the health of our DNA improves. How is this happening? The ends of the DNA within your cells are protected by special sequences called telomeres. If we imagine a strand of your DNA as a shoelace, the telomeres are like the plastic pieces or lace tips that encapsulate the ends and protect the strands of DNA from fraying. The length of the telomere matters because it determines how many times a cell can divide to create more cells. Telomere length is related to how long you live and how healthy you are. Every time a cell divides, the telomere end caps are shortened until eventually telomeres are lost and the DNA begins to degrade. This limits the lifespan of your cells and is associated with diseases of advanced age, including cancer. Longer telomeres allow cells to stay healthy and continue to divide. Sprint 8 training is one of the most effective ways to improve fitness in the shortest amount of time, and your fitness level is strongly correlated to your telomere length. Sprint 8 helps to protect your future health by supporting longer telomeres, thereby slowing cellular aging. We cannot measure everyone's GH, testosterone, or telomeres, but we can measure our progress using a unique metric called the sweat score. Your Matrix console calculates the amount of effort that you put into each interval, and it also generates an overall sweat score for the total workout. This score is based on your speed, resistance level, your incline, and a combination of factors. Recovery intervals are not scored because that is not the part of the workout that drives most of the adaptations. Instead, the sweat score helps users focus on what really matters, and that's how hard you work during those sprint intensity intervals. Your total sweat score differs based on many factors, including age, gender, and body composition. Most importantly, sweat scores differ based on the mode of cardio equipment. This reflects different amounts of force and different muscle groups being used as measured in joules. A common question is, what is a good sweat score? The answer is always the one that is better than your previous score. This helps you focus on your own improvements. It's tempting to compare your sweat score with others, but this is only relevant against a person with the same exact age, sex, and weight on the exact same modality. Focus on your own improvements as measured by your sweat score, and only compare that score to your previous scores on that same exercise modality. So, what can you expect with Sprint 8 GX? The full workout has 3 sections that take just under an hour to complete. This includes Sprint 8 on Matrix cardio equipment, the innovative strength and conditioning exercises on the gym floor or in studio, and flexibility training. Order matters because the explosive lifts occur during a period of highest muscle building potential. And that occurs after Sprint 8 when GH releases are elevated. The strength and conditioning component is a sequence of exercises that use body weight and free weights to provide resistance. Each movement has an explosive phase. We also maximize strength gains by removing the stretch reflex as we pause for at least 1 to 2 seconds during the movement before pushing with explosive power. The end of the workout is the best time to move your body through a full range of motion with static stretches. Training for flexibility helps us to avoid muscle tightness. The 10-minute stretching section at the end of the session supports exercise performance during the sprint cardio, and it gives you a chance to notice the immediate benefits of a lifted mood. And finally, Sprint 8GX will get easier with practice, but it is never easy. This is clear when you see a Sprint 8GX session. During the sprint intensity intervals, the group will visibly stand out as they work harder than almost anyone else in the facility. Effort is rewarded by results, so find satisfaction in embracing the challenge as you gain a stronger, leaner body. Thank you for joining me.